Everyone, let's welcome Trish Yochum to Inside Chat. And we are rolling this to find out in this segment everything about her and what she does. I got a 17 on the die.
You must reveal all.
Exactly. So my wisdom is pretty high of a modifier. So Trish, welcome.
I just had a moment of from the Goonies where they tell him he has to say everything. And the kid's like, I did this and I did this.
That's exactly what this segment's all about.
Yes, exactly.
What exactly is it that you do, Trish? I mean, I know the answer to that, just FYI.
Graphic design.
So much more than
mostly
that.
I'm working on books, so doing book layout, and that's really fun. I enjoy it greatly. So coming from working on packaging for so many years, it was nice to get into like long documents and really have a project that you just work on, continuously. It's very fulfilling when you get done with a 200 and some odd page book and you're like, wow, look at that. That's the last 2 months of my life.
Right.
So.
Yes.
And
I'm surprised that it's only 2 months, actually.
Right, because that does take a long time, right? And so that's part of what this is all about, is trying to figure out, like, what does that mean, layout? Does that mean moving every word and image on each page of the D&D books that people get?
It means coming up with, so like I come up with the way that I want a chapter start to look. So any treatments on the beginning of a chapter as you lead in, all of those, like the textures and the backgrounds of the book for the paper and all those little graphic tidbits that are throughout, those are all things that we create to put a book together. So it's really funny because I remember for a while, my parents used to tell people that I did the drawings for things when I worked on like Magic and D&D. And I'm like, oh, no. They save that for the really talented people. I'm like, I get to take those and then I get to play with that stuff. That's what I do.
You're also a very talented person, though. Let's be honest. Our books are beautiful. And doing layout on a book, it's actually a huge job. I've seen you tinkering around in front of your computer screen.
I know.
Creating
just moving
all of your
little things. I am definitely the person who loves layers.
So many layers.
Yes. So like working in Photoshop, it's Tristan who's one of our other graphic designers, has opened my things and they will be like, you have so many layers going. It's like, I know. So
you're like an onion.
Exactly. It's like, that's how you get all that texture, all that buildup. It's just light layers of things over and over and over again.
So one of the things that I don't know that our listeners would be aware of, but I think it's pretty darn cool, is that you are also the visual brains behind Dungeon Mayhem.
Yeah.
You created that like whole cloth from the beginning. The whole look and feel of those cards, the fronts and the backs and the packaging and everything was you, all you.
I loved that. That was definitely like a passion project once I started it. And then when we were doing like expansions.
Yes.
And I remember Shauna was saying, she's like, well, we could probably get somebody to do that. And then you can focus on this. I'm like, well, but I want to do that.
I want to give that up.
Exactly. So I was like, can I keep it? Can I keep working?
Did you? You kept it.
I kept it through the big box set that we did, the monsters.
Yep.
And then that next set we did send out.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those where it's fun to see an evolution of a product too. So
definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty cool to just like something that's absolutely brand new that has never existed before, that you have set the whole tone for that. And it's so beautiful. I just love
the components for it are so, like, again, that's a thing that people don't even realize, even that you worked on it, but that they have to have this great consistency and usefulness to them, right? And you worked on all of that.
Yeah. I think the most challenging part with those was doing the icons
Yeah.
for all the powers that you can do, and trying to come up with different things in a 1/4 inch space that have detail and look different.
Yeah. And representative of the very random power that it is.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's like, I think I kept all of those, like all the sketches that went into those. And there's so many people that sketch so much better than I do. So I'd be like, hey, Emmy, come here. I was like, I kind of want to do this and this and this. And we would sit and go back and forth with some different things. And then like when we got to the monster set, I had some ideas of things that I wanted. And I was like, oh, this is going to take me forever. And so I hit up Richard and I was like, hey, Richard, you want to do some sketches for me? And he came back with, like I said, I just want like 1 or 2 for, these 6 different things. And he came back with like 6 different options for every one of them. He's like, oh, I did them last night. They were so fun. And they were just little pencil sketches. And then I just took those and kind of finessed them a little bit into little vector icons. But yeah, that was fun. It was a challenge. And it's one of those where you're like, is this really going to work? You're putting all this time into it. And then when it's finally done and it's all together, it's like, okay, I like that.
Yeah. And at the time when you were doing the first one, we had thought about it being a product line, but we weren't sure that that was going to happen. So you kind of have to always keep that in the back of your mind. Like, what's the evolution of this going to look like if there is an expansion? And if the expansion is this size or this size. So we mixed it up a lot with that one, but yet the whole look was always very consistent. And I think one of the things I love that I see you do all the time is like these really thoughtful little touches. Like when you open the lip of the card box for Dungeon Mayhem, there's like a secret, like there'll be a goblin or there'll be an ampersand or like something. Like you always go the extra mile and like put these little flourishes in places that you wouldn't necessarily expect them to be. It's always just real classy, It's like a stamp that's like, Trish was here.
It's a little Easter egg, but in non-digital form. It's in
So just, when you're looking at our books and the packaging and card sets and stuff, just look around for those little touches, because that was probably Trish that put it there.
Awesome. I'm glad we were here to educate some of those folks who are listening, and that they get to, see a little bit of the amazing stuff behind Trish Yochum's work on D&D. Wouldn't be the same without you.
No, it would not.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Trish.
Yeah. It's good to talk to you guys. Thanks for letting me chit-chat for a bit.
Now you got to get working on the Wild Beyond the Witchlight, right?
Oh, yes. That is definitely, it's coming. You guys just wait.
I've seen the mood board. Woo!
Have you? I'm like, we've already gotten, like the cover samples back so we could see how printing went. And so, I'm excited. That's a good one.
Wings.
It's
That's
fun.
awesome.
It's fun when you get to, it's like every single book that I get to, I'm like, oh, this is my favorite one so far. It's like, this is my favorite one so far.
It's kind of a nice counterpoint to Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft. It's like moody and dark and gothic-y, and now it's like butterflies and clowns.
I don't know, clowns kind of follow with Van Richten.
That's true. It's a clown with a red balloon. You go back to Van Richten's. Get out of here.
Get out of here.